Hey, fellow writers. Okay, we are most definitely continuing our series on how to make your creative writing more realistic. Do not worry. It might sound like I get a little bit off track at the end, but this is all very relevant. It's just that there just happens to be a topic on my mind right now, and so I'm just going to run with it. But let's get right to it to start. If you really want to make your creative writing more realistic, then you need to ask lots and lots of questions. Lots and lots and lots of them, in fact. Ask for input before you start writing, while you're writing, and after you've moved on to the editing rounds. Essentially, when in doubt, ask. Let's say your character ends up at Arcadia National Park in Maine, but you've never been there before. However, you have a colleague over in HR who you found out actually has been there. In that case, ask. Or you're writing about a preacher's wife, but you've never been a preacher's wife before. In that case, if you go to a church with a married male pastor, ask to take his wife out for coffee sometime. Otherwise, look up churches around you and see if any of those pastors' wives would be interested in sitting down with you. You might want to give them assurances of anonymity while you're at it, just for the record. Speaking of such, there's more than one way to ask questions of our fellow human beings. While it most certainly can be in person, over the phone, or via email, where you're directing a specific question at a specific person, there are plenty of sneakier ways to ask as well. In writing circles, we don't like to say eavesdropping. That's such a negative and invasive sounding word. We much prefer the term people watching. For instance, pretend you want to know what a typical sales oriented meeting might look like. Your main character is trying to hire a marketer for her startup business, and you're not really sure how that interaction would realistically go. In that case, Panera is your place to be. Go in the morning or mid afternoon during the week, pick a person in a nice outfit to sit next to, and then proceed to pretend to not listen to them once their sales mark arrives. If it's a college student, you need to observe, check out a college or university cafeteria, and so on. Just identify where your kind of character can best be observed, best meaning legally speaking, for the record, and then see if you can share the same basic space. You can also ask for input online. Sites like Quora can be awesome resources for writers, allowing them to ask any questions about any kind of profession or person with a pretty decent chance of getting worthwhile replies, too. If that doesn't work though, obviously Google and Bing can answer a number of questions, either through simple searches or more detailed investigations. Since this is on my mind right now, we're going to create a protagonist profile of a police officer who's been accused of on the job voluntary manslaughter after discharging his weapon against an unarmed suspect. With that in mind, we'll begin by searching for cop shoots unarmed man. When we do, we might find the story of Jonathan Roselli, who, after he shot the person in question, called headquarters and said something along the lines of, I think I just effed up. A damning admission, right? But take it a step further. Type in cop shoots unarmed man family, and you'll find statements from the deceased family, which will no doubt be important for the story, too. Take note of them. Yet on that same first page of results, you'll also discover a Back the Blue event in Roselli's honor. Click on it and see where it takes you, including the fundraiser page Roselli's sister set up for him, which paints an equally damning admission, though this one aimed a little differently. I've included it in the description below, both at it has its own separate link and in the transcript link as well. And even if you don't check that out, understand that no matter what the subject matter you're writing about, it is never going to be realistic unless you do some serious asking from more than one angle. Thank you so much for listening, and I will catch you all next week. All right, bye, guys.